My dudes, get your loot. It just keeps happening. China has seemed to crack the code to make a successful game. Take a guess at what it is. Good combat? An engrossing story? Or is it just a pair of huge... Honestly, it's probably a combination of everything. But I just got done spending 60 hours in Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, and I just gotta say, man, is my arm tired. I was already planning on reviewing the game when it launched, but I reached out to the dev team's publisher 505 Games, and since they're actually based, they gave me a key. And if you can't tell already, I'm a huge fan of the game. And with how Japan keeps censoring their content, I'm starting to wonder if I made the right decision coming here for that ooh woo, when I could be in China getting some of that Sulam Gong Fu. Now, if you're worried about spoilers, I'm not gonna have any in here, and I'm gonna leave out anything that would ruin your experience or make the game easier for you. But don't get it twisted. It's not because I'm a nice guy. I want you to suffer just like I did. So get used to seeing this death screen. You're gonna be seeing it a lot. Now, in Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, you start the game as a Chinese baddie named Wu Chang, who wakes up in a cave suffering from amnesia and has been afflicted with a disease called the feathering, which normally turns people into hideous bird creatures. But you'll notice that Wu Chang is anything but hideous. God damn! I'm calling it right now. Just like we saw in Stellar Blade, there's gonna be people saying that this game is just for gooners. All because Wu Chang is attractive. But the game doesn't even focus on the sexuality of her at all. There isn't even fan service like we got with Eve. The game has something I like to call self-fan service. You gotta serve yourself. If this game gets nominated at the Game Awards with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, just remember, Warhorse was too busy making Henry and Hans play tummy sticks and forgot to fully model the female characters. Pull yourself together, Vavra! Thank God these Asian studios keep ignoring all these weirdos, and we're slowly seeing gaming going back to normal. Could you imagine if Ubisoft tried to make this game? Wu Chang would be replaced with Wu Shlong and have a long dong in her thong. Hold on, I got another one. They turn her into Ming Ling with a mean ding-a-ling.
おじさん、軍できないとゲームできないってこと？
Shut your mouth. All jokes aside, there are some sexy chinas in the game, but it's all important to their social standing and backstories. And get this, after every boss you defeat, you're gonna get their armor. And on top of that, they added transmog in the game, so if you wanna look like a badass, enjoy the fruits of nature, or go full goon and run around your pantalones, it's up to you. The power is yours. As for the story, it goes hard as hell. You don't need to watch an hour-long lore video to understand what the hell's going on like in Elden Ring. The characters you meet are all interesting, and some of the plot twists will blow your mind later on. And this isn't some soy game for modern audiences. It's dark fantasy all the way and has a ton of adult themes. They didn't hold back on this one at all. There's some shit in here that's gonna make you say, what the hell even is that? Still would though. There are multiple endings based on your actions. There are quests that you can miss entirely if you don't explore, and some people may actually end up getting killed or even tortured because of the choices you make. But you never feel like you need to look up the outcome of your choices that you make in the game. You just go with the flow, my friend. But what about the meat and potatoes of a Souls game? The combat. Well, you're in luck, my dudes. It slaps. If you like FromSoft games, you're gonna feel right at home here. And I gotta say, some mechanics are hit or miss. They went with the combo system, kind of like rogues in World of Warcraft. When you dodge at the right time, you can get a point that you can use on different skills or magic. Wu Chang has a rage mechanic that makes her blood build up over time until you have to take on her inner demon. If any of you dudes are married, this might sound familiar. Get it? Women, am I right? Right?
この野郎
Honestly though, I didn't like this mechanic at all. First of all, it's not fun to manage some tedious bar throughout the entire game. It apparently raises as you kill humans and drops when you kill non-humanoid characters, but this thing is constantly maxed out. As it goes up, you can deal more damage, but you take more as a consequence. By how much? I don't know. The game doesn't tell you shit. Same damn thing with the trinkets. Look at this. Reduces damage taken. Slightly reduces damage taken. Reduces damage taken below a certain health point. Slightly reduces damage taken. Just tell us what the hell percent it is so we can choose the best option. Why do we need to go to a third-party website to see what the items actually do? It's just extra steps. But back to the rage mechanic. Here's the problem. They made it so that it increases each time you die. So if you're stuck on some boss, maybe because, I don't know, they do too much damage, you're gonna get punished by taking even more. And this thing maxes out after just a couple of attempts. And get this, to reset the damn thing, you gotta run all the way to a statue and give them an item, which you only have limited quantities of. Or you can do what I did, die on purpose to an enemy or jump off a cliff. It's just such a waste of time, and I just don't like it. The only good thing I can say about it is that if you never die because you're one of those I beat Souls games naked with a stick and never taking any damage, then you're in luck. You have a constant damage buff running. But that ain't me. And if you guys end up playing this game, just know that there's a huge skill check about 10 to 15 hours in, and it forces you to get good. And I can't wait to see a lot of people complaining about it. Like I said in my Stellar Blade video, I don't like to play games on a controller unless I absolutely have to, so I gotta give a shout out to the keybind options here. I know people that play Souls games mostly play on controllers, so this is just for stubborn keyboard and mouse players like me. But my biggest complaint with Elden Ring was that you can't bind your spells or potions to other keys. I don't know why, but they want to force you to play with the controller, so you have to cycle through your items and spells to use them. I'm sorry, but this is bullshit. Fortunately, that's not the case here. You can bind your equipped items and spells to different keys, making combat feel smooth as hell. And talking about smooth, how does the game run? I saw some people worried because it's running on Unreal 5, which has a bad reputation for running like crap. But I gotta say, the game runs smooth as hell. I can't believe it's not butter. And I have the settings almost maxed out with OBS recording the whole time. But I gotta say it, can we go back to games just having low, medium, high, and ultra settings for graphics? Why do we all have to spend 10 to 20 minutes messing with upscalers and sharpness levels every time we install a new game? That being said though, my God, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers has to be one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. And the level designers made everything flow so well, I didn't mind the game being linear at all. Walking through the world feels like you're in some Chinese painting. Whoever is on the art team needs a raise. I haven't seen Snow done this well since Red Dead Redemption 2. It's too bad some asshole put a bunch of mines in it. Whoever thought this was a good idea? I just don't like you. The attention to detail here is insane. Look at this dude. Nothing crazy, right? Enhance. Some art designer went out of their way to put hairs coming out of the moles on this dude's face. Why this game doesn't have a camera mode is beyond me. But if I had to score the game at its current price point of $50, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers has to be a solid 9 out of 10. And I think it's contender for Game of the Year. Yeah, it's that good, my dudes. That being said though, if it was being sold at a higher price point, I might have to drop it down to an 8. Because I constantly felt that almost everything needed just a little bit more to push it into that legendary territory. Don't take this as complaining. It's kind of like if a young Pamela Anderson was in front of you, but you notice she didn't shave her armpits. You could ignore it, but it doesn't mean it's not there. And it leaves you sitting there wondering, why the hell doesn't she shave it off? Should I tell her? Nah, maybe that's rude. I mean, it's her body, it's her choice, right? But wait, I paid for the game. Maybe I should ask them to make some changes. Nah, that's not right. Maybe I'm the problem. Perhaps I'm the one who's too judgmental, and other gamers might be into this. Or could it be that—
リーさん、大丈夫？
What the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah. So like I was saying, this diamond has a few flaws. Some bosses just feel less polished than others. I was able to cheese a few fights and avoid some boss mechanics entirely. You can also tell the team was more experienced with humanoid bosses, and some of the larger ones feel a bit rough. And I don't know if they maxed out their budget, but the cutscenes for the game are so good, but for some reason a few of the major bosses don't have an intro at all. At first I thought the game bugged out, so I had to reset to double check, but no, some of them are just not there. There's also a ton of armor, but honestly, good luck figuring out what's best. There are so many variables and resistance that you will almost never know what's best to wear. Take a look at this dude. He has a spear. Okay, so maybe you need to focus on stab resist. Nope. He also slashes with it. And then later on, he whips out a sword. Okay, well this armor has strong stab and slash resist, but low blunt. I got this. Oh wait, he also has a kick, throws dirt at you, and uses cold magic. What the hell's going on here? It's just too in-depth for a single player game. Now if there was PvP, I think this complexity is fine, as you can build your character around countering meta builds. But like I said, this is a single player game. It's just not fun to constantly wonder if you're taking too much damage because you're wearing the wrong shit. The combat is great, it just has a few flaws in it, and it needs some balancing. I'm not going to go into it too much because theory crafting and creating unique builds is my favorite part of a Souls game, and I don't want to spoil that for anybody. But are any of these issues bad enough to ruin the game? Not at all. It's just that the game is so damn good that any bad decisions stick out like a sore thumb. I'm sure a lot of you dudes remember, but last year Black Myth Wuchang was docked points for, and I quote, lacking diversity by a gaming journalist from Screen Rant, meaning they wanted more women to be shoved into a game about a damn monkey. Wuchang is obviously female, and the game is packed to the brim with women, but like I said, most of them are attractive, and some are even being held in some not so happy situations. So I'm wondering what kind of weird shit they're gonna pull. And if they try to pull the lacking in diversity card again because all the characters are Chinese, just let them know that there's a white Christian missionary in the game. That should shut them up. Now I'm against pre-ordering games, but if you wanted to pre-order bonus costumes here and want to support based devs, you should be good to go here. But if they have some day one patch or DRM that messes up the game, don't blame me. Anyways, I gotta get out of here. There's a new game plus mode I gotta get through. Peace.
Siêu lòng công phu sinh,
Ha ha yeah.
siêu lòng công phu kinh.
Hay ho ca.
Ôi tàu gùng,
Một tay tiếng tăng thơ.
lấy hai cầm